Hi, my name is James and today I'm going to be talking to you about these. So, I've been on the island for about a year now, and as a remote island community, although we do have tin and glass recycling, we unfortunately have no way to recycle plastic right now. And as you may know, a lot of plastic just isn't recyclable anyway. And if you've ever tried to cut plastic down, you've probably found that it's basically impossible to cut it completely out of your life. But when you stop thinking of excess plastic as a waste product and more as a resource with its own pros and cons, then you can start thinking about ways to harness these pros, such as durability and longevity. And that's what this is. This is an Ecobrick, and it allows you to harness the power of plastic for years and years to come. Today I'm going to be telling you the simple process of making one and the creative and practical ways you can use them. First, you collect soft plastic in your day-to-day life. I collect mine in a cardboard box as a separate recycle bin. Make sure to give it a clean if it's dirty and let it dry, otherwise the bottle may go mouldy. It can be easier to get the plastic into the bottle if it's cut or ripped into smaller pieces. Then you take a clean dry bottle and start putting plastic in. For most uses, it's easier if the bottles are large, for example 1.5 litres or more, and are uniform in size, so the same brand works best. For the Ecobrick to be useful, you have to compress the plastic in as much as you can so that it's as dense as possible. The best way to do this is with a stick. Something like a bamboo pole or the back of a wooden spoon works great. This becomes more important as the bottle gets more and more full because the plastic becomes harder and harder to compress. The ideal weight for an Ecobrick is about 500 grams for 1.5 litres or 660 grams for 2 litres, which might seem like a lot, but the smaller you cut the plastic, the easier it is to get this density. Make sure to push down as much as possible at the very end. As I said, you want it to be as compressed and as full as possible. So, if the lid's difficult to put on at the end, it means you've done something right. And that's it. Pretty simple, right? Yeah. And this is what you get. If it's done right, it should be solid and weighty. And they become even more solid and weighty when you collect them with other Ecobricks to form what we call modules, basically blocks of Ecobricks attached together. And you can do so much with these things. You can make furniture such as tables and chairs. You can line your vegetable patches with them. Thanks to some clever designing, you can even make giant Lego bricks, which allows you to make huge interactive structures. And in some places of the world, they're even building houses with them. I would say ecobricks.org is a really good resource for learning about all these different types of modules. If you want to do double the good, then litter in your local community is actually really perfect materials for Ecobricks, things such as sweet and crisp wrappers, as long as you give them a bit of a clean just to make sure they don't go mouldy in the bottle. For all the parents in lockdown, I'm sure you've been looking for ways to keep your kids occupied, and I think that Ecobricks are a really good one. I think the whole process of collecting the rubbish, making the Ecobricks, and then making something with them is such an engaging process. And because of kind of the low skill ceiling, I guess it allows young children to actually properly get involved. And I think it also teaches them the creative ways that we can solve these problems such as plastic waste. I think a fun activity for a family is to get everyone to make an Ecobrick and then weigh them at the end and see who's made the heaviest one. This is basically who can pack the plastic the most densely into the bottle. And I think this is the kind of thing that is really fun, and you might even get your teenagers involved if you're lucky. I wouldn't get your hopes up, but you never know. But yeah, we've tried it and it's really fun. It adds kind of a competitive edge to it, I suppose. I would say for very small children you might want to get an adult to help them because it does take a bit of strength to push the plastic down, especially at the end. To keep this relatively short, I have brushed over quite a lot of detail, but I definitely recommend checking out some online resources if you're interested. YouTube has so many different videos with different ideas that people have had, different designs and things like that. That's actually how I found out about Ecobricks. And also, as I mentioned already, ecobricks.org, I can't say enough how good of a resource it is. It has all the module designs, it has like the principles of Ecobricks that it's put forward, and it kind of provides this global framework for how we can solve this plastic problem, and it's quite inspiring actually. I definitely recommend checking it out. It also has drop-off zones for your local area. If you have kind of local community projects or even non-local, there's places that they'll pick them up and use them for larger scale projects. And if there isn't one nearby, I guess you could start one yourself, but maybe start with a stool first. I want to really hammer home this last point. It's the thing that resonated with me the most, and I hope it will for you too. It's the idea that you can take control of your own plastic waste. Whereas normally, you put your rubbish in the bin, then it gets taken off to the tip to sit there, and it's not really your problem, but it's still there. Whereas if you start collecting your plastic and using it for Ecobricks, it's kind of this mindful process. You're collecting it and you're making something with it, and it's really rewarding, I think. And I really hope that this video has inspired you to make one. They're really easy, and I'd really encourage you to give it a shot. As you can see, my sheep friends, my live audience, are staying loyal to me throughout this whole process. I thought they were going to leave halfway through with all my failed takes, but they have stayed, which is really good. I think this is actually where all the seaweed is, so that's probably why. But yeah, anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I really hope you consider making an Ecobrick, and I really hope that you watch some of the other Science Festival videos because they're all really interesting. And yeah, have a great day, and I hope you can visit the island soon. Bye.